All right, y'all. We are so happy and excited that you decided to join us for this 3-day series. We have so much in store for you. We have been thinking about you. We have been praying for you. We are looking forward to learning from you and what you are going to gain from an experience like this. And so there are very specific women that I had in mind as I was thinking about how do we serve the women that need what this 3-day experience is going to provide. And one of those women is J. Marie of Girl Get Your Body Fit. And so I just love hearing that name. When I first met you, J.
Mhm.
Marie, and it is so it really makes you want to get something going.
Yeah, right.
So where did that name even come from?
Well, it actually came from Rachel Hollis' Girl Wash Your Face. Um,
Mm,
Her book was just everything that I was going through at the time. So I'm the first in my family to go to college and like stay in the dorms. So before I had done that, I was going through a breakup and no one in my family had gone to college. And so I'm going through like what is a very huge transition. I have nobody in my life really to like relate to it. And so I'm working at Walmart and I pick up Girl Wash Your Face. And I'm reading through the book. And at the time, like on the side, I have this fitness accountability group, but I'm not really doing anything with it. And I called it Fitness, Pitnez. And by the end of the book, she says, Girl, wash your face, just like the title. And I was like, what would be my version of Girl, wash your face? And it would have been Girl, Get Your Body Fit. And so I took that name and I held on to it for a little bit as I was going through life and like making my way up the corporate ladder and like still tending to this little hobby that I have.
mhm.
And then finally in 2022, I trademarked it and I was like, yeah, I'm going after this full throttle.
And who is the girl that you have in mind when you're talking about Girl Get Your Body Fit?
Girl, I think it would be any woman who knows that she is capable of more, but
Mhm,
is scared to own it, scared to
mhm,
step into it, scared to even admit it. Yeah.
mm. So is that how you would have described yourself when you?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Mhm,
Because I didn't see anyone in my life who had lived the sort of life that I'm starting to live now. I hadn't seen anyone really take the reins of their life. And that's what I had wanted to do. So many of the things that I wanted to do was outside of just getting my body right. It was about, I wanted to feel fulfilled in my career. I wanted to feel fulfilled in my relationships. I wanted to travel out of the country. No one in my family had done that before. Like everything that I wanted to push the boundary on thinking of a life and then living it.
mhm.
And that's who I created Girl Get Your Body Fit for. I like what I say our 5 pillars of wellness is physical, financial, mental, spiritual, and relational. Because when you do choose to make yourself a priority, when you do choose your health and wellness, you can't grow in just one area. Growth doesn't work like that. You can't just think of yourself well in just one area. It naturally overflows to every area of your life. And so, yeah, the woman, it was me.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And when you think about your journey and the process that you have gone through to reclaim some of what you were talking about, you taking the reins. I like how you said you were taking the reins of your life. So meaning that you were no longer, or this is the way I interpret it, that you're no longer letting life happen to you,
Yeah,
right? You,
100%.
yeah, being more so how would you describe the difference or just the journey in general from being there, getting started to where you are right now?
Hmm. I really believe that first, it started off with a vision. So
Mhm,
I had to be intentional about what it was that I wanted my life to feel like. Not even just the emotion that I wanted to embody, but like the different experiences. So, like, one of my favorite things that I've done so far is go to Greece. I had thought that I was gonna go to Greece for what is it, like, for a class over the summer, but then the world shut down and everything happened, so that wasn't gonna happen, and so I was just like, "How am I gonna get to Greece?" I had transitioned into corporate America, and I'm still, like, doing this little hobby that I'm saying is a fitness accountability, but I have my LLC, so actually it's a business. Like,
Mhm.
I have all of the sort of makings of what I wanted in every single area of my life, but I really needed to step into, no, I'm not gonna like take anything opposite of it. And so I think when you asked me that question of what did it take to transition into the mindset, it was just like having a no nonsense approach of, no, actually, this doesn't align with what I want. Why would I take another job if I really want to be a business owner? Why would I be in certain environments that doesn't align with my morals or values? Just like being extremely intentional about the friendships, relationships, about mentorship, about the experiences and the most emotions that I wanted to cultivate in my life.
You are a younger woman,
Yeah.
younger than me. And I'm really curious with where this season of life that you're in now, and you have made this declaration about your life and the life that you want to have. What has that been like for you actively living that out?
It's been extremely difficult. Um, because I'm Gen Z. So I like my peers are expressing themselves a lot through social media. Or if not, they're watching, consuming a lot of social media.
Mhm.
And so with social, you have a lot of unrealistic expectations placed on you,
Mhm.
especially I'm a first gen entrepreneur. I grew up on 6 Mile and Telegraph, like just to say that's not like where you
That's
want
in
to
Detroit,
be.
right?
That's Detroit,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm,
Um, and so while I have embodied that hustle culture and that I can get it out the mud mindset,
mhm,
actually having seen it done, that's not where I come from. And so
mm.
every woman, my mother, my grandmother, my great grandmother, they were mothers by the time they were 19. And so I'm the first in my family. I'm 23, just to be completely
Mhm,
transparent.
mhm,
I don't have a child.
mhm,
I'm single. I'm in entrepreneurship. I'm full time in my business. No one else. This is completely unheard of for my lineage. And
mm.
so, what has been extremely necessary for me to continue to accomplishment after accomplishment is prayer, keeping God first in my life because I know that I'm just being used, like, the people that I get to help is not through my vision alone. And then leaning on women who have, even if it's in a different way, even if it's way later in life, women who have done the sort of things that I want to do, that has been extremely helpful. But I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and say that it's not difficult because I have a lot of days where I'm like, how do I know I'm still on the right track? Like, is this
Yeah.
actually working? Okay, I know that this is different from last year, this is different from 2 years ago, but can we still, push through? Can we still push the boundary? Yes, yes, we can.
No, the reason why I ask you that is because I know that it was interesting to me to hear you say that the reason why you started Girl Get Your Body Fit was because you were listening or you read a book
Mhm,
and you were like, okay, well, what would this look like for me? Like,
mhm,
right? I did a similar thing when I first started a women's empowerment event back in 2014. It was listening to someone else give a talk, and I was like, okay, well, what would this look like for Christian women who are trying to lean in? Because the
right,
talk I heard was about lean in. And I know that the journey that I took, even though, I became somewhat, I would say, known for you are stronger than you think.
yeah,
just because you say, and you have this mantra, right? You have this 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 thing that you live by, doesn't mean that it's like, oh yeah, I just wake up and it
All
just
the time,
comes,
right?
yeah, yeah, and it just comes so easily for me. Like I just do it, and no, I don't even think about it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
100.
So yeah, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say I completely agree with that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's especially the modal of it because I'm not necessarily after, a regular corporate wellness company.
Mhm.
Um, and so I can't really look to other wellness businesses in every facet to say, "This is what I'm going after," or look to any of the women of my life to say, "This is exactly what I'm going after."
Mm.
But being, um, strong in my visualization, being strong in my intention, has really, like, helped me to hone in on it, but to your point, no, I don't wake up every day and go, "Oh, we're thriving in wellness."
Yeah, yeah,
Even
and
though we are though.
yes, and you explaining also that you are really pioneering this for yourself. So you, of course, you have examples. I'm sure in your family you have examples outside of yourself, but a lot of this is you learning as you go,
Yeah,
right? And I think that, you know, even like the women that are going to be joining us for this series, in some ways, they might be in the exact same, we're not all the same age, but we are definitely in those situations where I don't necessarily have an example of what this looks like. How do I do this? I'm figuring it out as I go, and I'm learning, and everything that I'm learning is hopefully making me better. It's helping
yeah.
me make progress in the life
Yeah.
that I have.
It's not even hopefully though,
Mhm.
it's definitely making you better.
Yes, yeah.
Leaning into that, that everything is working out for your good, even though it may look absolutely crazy. Not too long ago, we're coming up on a year, but almost a year, one of the people that I love most in my life, was fighting for their life in the hospital.
Mhm.
And that was really like a wake-up call for me to, be stronger in prayer and to
Mhm.
be stronger in my intention in my life.
Mhm.
Um, but when we talk about, things looking chaotic, flying the plane as you're building it, um,
Mhm.
not knowing what it's supposed to be, you have to genuinely believe everything is working out for your good, and you have to genuinely dig deep into that. Somehow, eventually, this is gonna make sense. I may not know right now how this is
Mhm.
gonna make sense,
Mhm.
but somehow eventually it's gonna make sense. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and yeah, and you sharing too that you are making sense of it as you go. So again, there's none of this, we have to have all the answers right now. I think that that is one of the things that really can hold us back,
Mhm.
is feeling like we have to have all the answers in order for us to be able to move forward. You just knowing that you want to make a change, that you want to do something different can really make a big difference.
It really does.
So when you think about go-to strategies, so you know, I kind of was really talking to you about why, like this session, I know that women, we can be really hard on ourselves when it comes to our physical appearance,
Mhm.
when it comes to our fitness goals, where the physical part is concerned. There can be somewhat guilt that we feel, hey, I know I should be taking better care of myself physically, but I'm not. And so what one of the things I wanted you to do is talk to us, all of us, me,
Yeah.
myself included, of what are some of the strategies that you share with your clients who are really, they know they want something different.
Mhm.
They've tried a lot of different things. So what's maybe one thing that you might say to them just to get them started?
Yeah, one general practice that I usually start my clients off with is that practice of visualization. Usually when we get stuck in that rut is because we're like living on autopilot. You know, we got
Mhm.
kids, we got the work, we got our spouses, the car broke down, all of these different things.
Mhm.
And so because we're living on autopilot, we haven't really taken the time to like, what would this look like if I could just like take out a magic wand and bippity boppity boo it? Like, how would it feel? And so the ways that I do that is, okay, let's set our 90-day intention. Physically, what do you want to look like? Like, think about your hair, think about your skin, think about how your body will fall. Spiritually, the first thing spiritually, because I know that all of our women may not believe in the same thing, but the first thing spiritually, spirit is really tied to the emotions. So, what emotion do you want your life to embody? And then you have to ground that in a couple things. And so I know for different religions that may look differently, but affirmation, prayer, meditation, something of the sort. Let's set our intention there. Financially, we can set up a new stream of income. We can alleviate some debt. We can make our money flow because you earn money, you save money, you invest money. So we can do something differently there. Relationally, how do you want your relationships to feel? How do you want your children to feel when you walk in the room? How do you want your spouse to feel when you walk in the room? What does it look like for you to be a better mother, to be a better friend, to be a better daughter? And then, of course, mentally. Now, mentally, I do something a little different there. We just set a vision of everything that we just said, this is a fantastic life. Mentally now, I want you to write down, why do you think you can't do that? I want to know, what are those thoughts that are like, no, this is too big. I don't have enough energy. I'm too tired. And the reason why I want you to write those down exactly as they come up is because then on our next exercise, we're going to do the lie and the truth, because those thoughts that you just wrote down, those are all lies. So if those are lies, what are the truth? The reason why you've been staying in that funk is because you just had the lie on repeat. So now that we've identified it, we can move into the truth. Boom. That's it.
All right. So I would love for you to like walk us through an exercise. So like this, we can take the exact same one that you just were talking us through. Okay.
Okay.
So you mentioned that emotions and our spirituality and our emotions are closely connected to each other.
Yeah.
So what is a common maybe emotion that women come to you with when they're trying to change how they approach the physical aspect of who they are?
Yeah. They come to me with inadequacy. They come to me with unsureness, lack of confidence.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I'll keep it at that.
Okay, so let's talk about lack of confidence. Give me,
Mhm.
what does lack of confidence look like when you are thinking about the physical aspect of who you are?
Well, lack of confidence can be, shying away from eye contact, can be that slouched overness, can be keeping your voice real low,
Mhm.
or sometimes you do the exact opposite because you want to hide the insecurity. So now you're just big and bold, and you can't read the room, and you're all out. Um,
Mhm.
and so lack of confidence can like exude
So
in those two ways. Yeah.
let's take that one. I like the one about sometimes what we think is confidence, like the bravado that people can have, they can walk into a room with, where it can be mistaken as confidence
Mhm.
when it's actually not confidence. So let's take that as an example.
Okay.
So if that's me that you're talking to, where I know that I don't feel confident, but I've been taught to quote, fake it till I make it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in a leadership position. I've been taught fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
So how would you walk me through one of these visualization exercises?
Well, when we start diving deeper into like these different facets of ourselves, like
Mhm.
our confidence and how we show up in the world, typically, in my opinion, is tied to your trust in yourself.
Mhm.
And so if you can identify, like, I'm acting with a sense of bravado, I'm acting with a sense of confidence, then I would really encourage you to do this exercise. titled, Why Don't I Trust Myself?
Mhm.
Write it down. Why don't I trust myself? And just sit in the question. Why don't I trust myself? And let the list kind of come up. And so you'll see on the list when we tackle our physical aspect, especially with women, it's never just about the physical. It is about our emotions. It is about what is going on in our life. It is about our relationships. That's why it's all tied together. And so if you're thinking about this from a fitness, let me get in the gym aspect, that may be the first couple things that come up. Oh, I don't trust myself because I let my fupa hang. I don't trust myself because I didn't get in the gym after that last child, like I said I would. I didn't trust myself. And you may start there, but those things are being fueled by deeper things. And so then you'll get into, oh, I don't trust myself because I let this man cheat on me and I said I was going to leave him and he didn't. Oh, I didn't trust myself because in high school, I let these girls treat me terrible and I didn't stand up for myself. Everything that comes up. And so from there, once you can identify what those things are for you, then you can hold space for some of them because some of them are not actively happening in your life right now. It just needs an awareness that this is going on in the background in your subconscious. But some
Mhm.
of them are actively going on right now, right here. And we can cross them off the list just by doing the opposite, just by starting to act like, because if this is what's fueling distrusting yourself, the opposite action is going to fuel trusting yourself. And once you trust yourself, you have confidence.
Just like your smartphone needs regular charging, so do you. Without regular recharging, your energy and spirit can run out, leaving you feeling drained and ineffective. Join the Strong Her Leadership Coaching Cohort to build soul care habits that prioritize your well being. Nurture your inner self, not just to care for others, but to sustain your own health and happiness. Strengthen your capacity to lead with confidence and resilience. Prioritize yourself and see the difference it makes in your life and leadership. Learn more at strongher.me/leadership cohort. You talked about using affirmations as a tool when you are working on that physical aspect of who you are. So what's an example of an affirmation that would that you've heard women that you work with use to support them?
I am healthy. I am well. I
Mhm.
love my body. I am sexy as I am.
Mhm.
These are, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What is the benefit of affirmations? Because I know that we hear about I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been a part of a women's event and affirmations have been a part of that, right?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So what is the connection between that and how we feel about ourselves?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things that come to me. So first off, when we first start practicing affirmations, we have cognitive dissonance. So cognitive dissonance is like when you think of yourself a certain way, but your actions are showing you something different.
Mhm.
And so when you start to write out, I am sexy, I am healthy, I am wealthy, all of these new thoughts, your brain is going to start to go, wait a second. Are you? Wait a second. We don't think about ourselves like that. And so it creates like initially a sense of panic while also creating this new idea of like, I'm about to leap after something. And so remind me of the end of your question. You said when creating something, what exactly was it?
Well, I was asking, like, when you have an affirmation, what is the benefit of an affirmation to how you feel about yourself?
Yeah. And so when you can start to create that kind of, I believe that I'm fat, but I'm starting to believe that I'm fit. I believe that I'm like lazy, that I'm sluggish, that I don't have any energy, but I'm starting to believe that I'll have the energy. It comes from being able to repeat that affirmation. And then from repeating that affirmation, the reason why I brought up the cognitive dissonance is because now that you're repeating these affirmations so many times, what's going to happen is one of two things. you're either going to want to forget the affirmations and stay where you are. It's not going to happen because they feel too powerful. Or you're going to want to put some action behind it so that you can actually become the thing that you keep repeating to yourself. And so that's why affirmations are like at the foundation of how I train women. Because the reason why we get to this place of like, oh, I need to lose 30 pounds. I said I was going to do the marathon. I didn't. Oh, I'm just not showing up the way that I want, is because you started to believe thoughts. You started to believe an idea of yourself that doesn't align with the person who creates the change that you want in your life. And so let's just change what we believe. Let's just change what we think about ourselves. Let's affirm it. Yeah.
Okay,
I
repeat that again. 'Cause
am.
that was, yeah. Okay, can you repeat what you just said?
Hopefully, let's see it. Let's see it. So I was saying the reason, I think this is what you're saying. The reason why we get into these like this funk of like, I want this career, I don't have it, or I'm fat, I'm lazy, whatever. It's because we've trapped ourselves into this idea. But when you have your affirmations, you realign with the idea who creates the change in your life that you want to see. So now after I repeat, I'm fit, I'm fit, I'm fit. Well, dang it, I'm going to want to get into the gym and create some action behind that so that I can realign with this new belief.
Yeah. You sharing the part about you're in alignment.
Mhm.
I think that's so much of what it
Yeah.
is we know that when we're out of alignment in our lives, or maybe initially we don't, but you feel like something is off,
Yeah.
something is wrong, and maybe you can't even put your finger on it. And so you sharing that part about, yeah, the affirmations help you. They're gonna, at first, initially, you said that you're gonna start off with this cognitive dissonance. There's gonna be this gap basically
Yeah.
between what you see and what maybe you're saying out of your mouth. But if you continue to shift your beliefs, then eventually you will come into alignment where it just won't be words coming out of your mouth, but it'll actually, your actions will align with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the affirmations was one of the examples, a really powerful example of one of the strategies that you use with your clients in
Mhm.
supporting them. What's a strategy that you've used besides that for yourself? Like, what's a strategy that you found when you find yourself in maybe a situation, like I'm thinking about the women that are going to be watching this. They are social workers or nonprofit directors, they are ministry leaders. And so they invest a lot of time pouring into other people and not always getting that same level of care given back to them.
Yeah. One of the things that I really have implemented in my life, especially over this last year, where not only was I facing career uncertainty, but I was
Mhm,
also facing like huge uncertainty in my personal life. Because, like I said, a year ago, I was watching one of the people I love most in this world fight for their life in the hospital.
mhm,
Um, Breath work has been extremely vital. When I talk about, so for me, I don't know about anybody else, but I have an issue saying I'm sad or I'm depressed or I need help, or that was like a really big thing for me. So breath work helped me to give myself space to be able to sit in the uncomfortable feelings that was coming up through the stresses of life. It helped me to expand my capacity and really get rooted into. I thought that there was something wrong with me if I were to feel sad, if I were to feel fear, if I were to feel worry, if I felt like I had nowhere to turn. But breath work really helped me to sit in it and say, oh, no, this is not, there's not nothing wrong here. There's actually a lot of value in this feeling. There's a lot that to unearth and to learn. And so for your women who may feel max capacity, may feel stress, may look in the world and feel they give more than they're receiving, I would say to look into breath work for sure, just to expand your capacity, because you can't um, receive if you don't have, if you're at your stress limit, if you're at max trauma or whatever, it definitely puts you in a place where it's hard to receive. I know that we are recording, but hopefully you can cut this part out. Can you hear the person?
Yes. Okay. Um, so let's practice. How would I do breath work?
Oh, that's a great question because I'm actually getting my certification.
You
um
can do the simplest form
yeah.
of it.
So how I like to set it up is with particular songs. And so let me actually look. It's a wonderful artist named Thea, I think is her name. Okay, so there is a great song that I love. It's by Alexia Chellun, Chellun. It's called Allowing. So really the key in the breathwork practices that I've done is choosing songs that um, are soft, that provoke you to be in a state of like receiving, that provoke love within you.
Mhm.
So the reason why I bring up this song in particular is because the lyrics go, I'm allowing me to be me. I'm allowing me to be free. I'm allowing my power. I'm allowing my well-being. And she just goes through all of the different things that she's
Mm.
allowing. But as you sit there, and I typically like to do it laying flat on my back, palms facing up, eyes closed. As you sit there, breathe with the tempo of the song, in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth, and really notice the electrical current through your body and do what the impulse tells you to do. Sometimes I'm like shaking through my breath work. Sometimes I'm crying through my breath work. Sometimes I feel a strong intuition to hug myself, to hold myself.
Mhm.
Just feel the electrical current move through your body and really focus on that present moment of in through your nose, out through your mouth. And it's not necessarily meditation is more about like pushing the thoughts out of your mind. It's not necessarily pushing the thoughts out of your mind. Whatever comes up, allow it to come up, witness it come up. What does that mean for you? Not in the sense that you're spiraling into like an overthinking session now, but just feel the feeling of the thoughts that are coming up. And yeah, just set time. You could do it 5 minutes. I've done sessions as long as 2 hours. But
Mm.
those just have I think what's vital in breath work for me at least, having that playlist with the right songs.
Yeah, I'm glad you shared about breath work. I believe in that. I One of the things that I learned when I went through coach training is mindfulness, and that was something that I didn't know until they taught us. And a lot of mindfulness involves breathing. We go, go, go. I mean, especially people that are like the women that will be a part of this experience, you are constantly giving out and you are constantly pouring into other people, and life moves really fast. And you are, we all are moving at such a fast pace,
We are.
such a fast pace. And what breath work does is it actually slows us down and it helps us live in the moment. I really didn't realize until in my 40s, which I am, is that how much I'm not present in my
Yeah,
actual life, where I'm not observing my actual life. And you said that whatever comes up, so like maybe it's a thought that comes up when you're thinking, maybe it's a prayer that you want to pray. You don't even know how many of those you're having every day because you're constantly moving.
yeah.
Yeah. And so the breath work really slows you down. Did you want to say anything else about that?
Yeah, and not even just slowing you down, to recognize what it is that you're thinking, because a
Mhm.
lot of us are on autopilot. We don't even realize that we're being an enemy to ourselves because we're on go, go, go.
Mhm.
But also there's a lot of feelings attached to our thoughts that we are constantly stuffing down when we're on the go like that too. And so being able to take the time to say, "Oh, I feel this way." And what does that feel like? Like allowing yourself to cry, allowing yourself to laugh out loud, allowing yourself to shake your body if that's what's necessary. Like just giving yourself permission. I think that's really why I say breath work as well.
Yeah, giving yourself permission. That's so very important. So, as we wrap up, I just want to give you an opportunity if there's anything else that you would like to share related to what we've been talking about that you know what, you're like, "You know what? I wanna make sure," like, it's burning on the inside of you, and you're like, "You know what? I need to share this with them as well."
Yeah. I would say no matter how it looks, and to be honest, no matter how it feels right now in your journey, um, the life that you are visualizing, the life that keeps coming up, even after storm, the thing that is burning on your heart, the reason why you are engaged in this wellness retreat, it will be your life. If you would just accept all the power and all the goodness that is you. And in accepting all the goodness that is you, you inherently accept, I'm sorry for my language, but you inherently accept all your shit too. And okay. It's gonna be
Yes,
okay.
yes,
Now, girl,
yes.
get your body fit.
That's right. Girl, get your body fixed.
Yes.
Right? And I love is in and fit is not just the fitness, like the physical fitness that we think about, right? It's all those elements that you talked about earlier. So for the women that are like, you know what, I need to stay connected to Jay.
Mhm.
How would they stay in contact with you and what do you have coming up that you would want them to know about?
Yeah, so I'm at Girl Get Your Body Fit on all social platforms, girlgetyourbodyfit.com. We've recently released Jay's Juice. Our premier juice is Pineapple Passion because it is so good. But we also have Jay's Juice Cleanse, which is a 3-day cleanse where you can really, the intention of the cleanse typically is weight loss. But also, a lot of those tools that I shared today, I have my women going throughout the cleanse as well, just to kind of not only reset your gut, but reset your mind, reset the intention over your life, and to get after it with a new sense of power.
All right. Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so thank you for being my guest today as we talked about that connection that we have with our well-being. A lot of people call it your mind-body connection. And so it was so important for us that we have your voice to really encourage and pour into those women. And I believe that they were inspired, and this will be another stop on their journey that they will not forget. So thank you for being my guest today.
Thank you so much for having me.